we are with Sabrina Jeffries.
Hi.
Thanks for talking with me today. I'm excited.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So you have a Christmas book coming out. Was
Yes.
The Night After Christmas, coming up October 30th.
Yes, it's a story of redemption. The hero is from my previous series, the Hellion series. And he was essentially abandoned as a child. He's an Earl, so you can't completely abandon an Earl, but his mother and father sent him off to school, and then when he got ready to go home the first time, he was informed that he was going to go stay with relatives, and he never went back home. And he has not been home all that time, and so he's been kind of wild because, you know, screw you and all that, you know, and his father died before the book starts. 2 years before the book starts, his father died, and his mother tried to reestablish the relationship, and he was like, screw you, and would not do anything. He was always very resentful of, you know, what happened, and there's other things that happened, and he, you know. So his mother, he has treated his mother well financially since his father died. He gives her a good allowance. He put her in a nice dower house and all of that, and hired her a companion. And so his companion, her companion, of course, is appalled. Appalled! This man is not paying attention to his mother. Who does that? And she likes the mother. So she writes him and says, you know, your mother's dying. And he goes home and discovers that his mother's not dying, and was completely unaware that this woman has written this. But he is so he, you know, he and the paid companion go round and round, and he discovers he enjoys sparring with her, and so he makes a deal with her that he will stay that one night, first night, he will have dinner with her and the mother if she will stop meddling and trying to do anything. And so she agrees. He said, if she will, I will have dinner with her if you will stop meddling, and if you will spend the night entertaining me. And of course she knows what he means, but he says no, he's not. Doesn't want to force anybody into his bed, but she has to entertain him because he would be in London having a good time if not for her. So the first night goes very well, and so he keeps extending it a night. And so the first night, you know, she reads to him, and that's kind of funny. And then, you know, so, but in the meantime, she has a child that he doesn't know about, who's 6, that his mother's been, had her bring her child there, but they've kept it secret from him because they think he doesn't want children on the manor and all that. So the child is very enamored of the poem "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." It had come out 2 or 3, it had come out 2 or 3 years before when my book is set, and so the mother had seen the clipping and read the poem to the little boy, and he's he likes "'Twas the Night After." He's very obsessed with the flying reindeer. That he really wants to see a flying reindeer. He's very upset.
Don't we all?
He's not seen a flying reindeer. So, but it was interesting because one of the things in the book, you know, he's naming all the reindeer, and when it first came out, the title, the name of the reindeer was not Blixen, it was Blixum. So I had to put that in the book, and I know everybody's saying, "Go Blixen? Is that a typo?"
Yeah. Where was the copy editor?
Yeah, what happened? But I mean, that was the original. So anyway, yeah. So as they go on, you know, of course, you know, love ensues. And
oh, it's a romance.
Yeah. Oh, you're so funny. Yes, and of course, eventually you find out the deep dark secrets of the family and why this happened, and there's a very tear-jerking ending, and, you know, reunion between the mother and the son, and of course he falls in love with the companion, and the little boy gets the Christmas of his dreams.
Oh, God bless us, everyone.
But he doesn't get flying reindeer. They try.
Well, there's time.
Yeah.
You can always have his book later, right?
Right. Yes.
5-10 years from now. Yeah.
Yeah, I get flying reindeer. Yeah.
And 'twas the decade after Christmas.
I could do that.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, now you're giving me an idea.
Okay, let's finish this first. Okay, so you have a new series coming up. The Duke's Men series starts with What the Duke Desires on June 18th. Will you want to tell us about that?
Well, okay, I did a little strange thing because I knew how romance readers felt about hardcovers, and I didn't want anybody to feel compelled to buy the hardcover because, you know, they get angry if you have a series and then you go, surprise, the last book's a hardcover. So I decided I wasn't going to do that. And so this book, although Pierce is in the Hellions, he's not one of the Hellions. You could read the whole Hellions series and not read Pierce's book. You wouldn't lose anything. And then I introduce the guy who holds the next series together, but if you don't read this book, you will follow the next series perfectly. You won't have any problems. So if you want the added, you know, pleasure, you could read this. If you don't like Christmas books, you don't want to buy a hardcover, you don't have to. It will come out in paperback next year. But the Duke's Men, there's a character introduced in here. His name's Dominic Manton, and he runs something called Manton's Investigations. And the first book is the Duke of the Lions, who is in the Hellions series. So it's his book. And they are finding a long-lost relative, but it's actually Dom's half-sister, who's the heroine. So she and the Duke have a very interesting time. They end up traveling together, you know, as husband and wife, and you know, anyway. But one of the things I had fun with was he kept saying, you know, I can't do this because everybody will know who I am, and if I travel in my crested coach, everyone will know I'm the Duke, and the press will follow us. And she's like, well, don't travel as, you know, just travel as like some everyday Joe. So he agrees to that, and everywhere they go, like, you know, they're somewhere, and they're in France at one point, and the servant says something about drawing a bath, and you will use the same water as Madame, right? And he's like, people do that? I mean, you know, every other chapter he's going, people do that? It's just shocked because he's never had to live this way. It's very shocking for him.
That sounds fun.
So I had a good time. She tweaks his nose a lot because it's very much a Cinderella story because she's the half-sister of Dom because she's his father's mistress's child, and they were raised kind of together, the mistress's children and the Viscount's children. So Dom's a second son of a Viscount, and she's his half-sister, and there's a half-brother, and then the relation of the Duke, I can't say more than that because it's a spoiler. Okay. Anyway, someone else is going to be involved in.
Sounds good.
So yeah, I am. I'm really enjoying it because it's kind of like a missing persons agency, but I can't call it that. You can't call it missing persons. They didn't have that, so I have to tweak it a little bit. But I'm having a good time with it so far. I really loved doing the Duke's book. I was laughing all the time.
Cool.
He was a pain in the butt.
As Dukes would be.
As Dukes would be, they are.
And so you also have some reissued books as you're under your previous writing name, Deborah Martin.
That's right.
February 26th, By Love Unveiled.
That's right. By Love Unveiled.
Okay, you want to tell us about that?
By Love Unveiled is restoration. I wrote 2 restoration books as Deborah Martin, and so we're doing those. This is very much an experiment. They're coming out in print and and Pocket is reissuing them with a gorgeous cover, really pretty red cover, lady in a corset thing, with the boobs, you know. And but it was a weird experience because I did revise them. And it's very interesting to go back. They are not Sabrina Jeffries books in the truest sense. It says Sabrina Jeffries writing against Deborah Martin for a reason. Because my Deborah Martin books were darker and more angsty. So these are that. And, you know, there's bigger issues at stake. It's a different period. But the sexual tension is going to be the same as in my Sabrina Jeffries books, and
that's the important thing.
Yeah, yeah. Not quite as much of the humor as people have come to expect from me, but very drama. Drama. I like drama. I like drama even as Sabrina Jeffries.
Yeah. That's kind of the point of a romance novel, isn't it?
Well,
drama
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, well, there's some of them are Tempest in a Teapot kind of. You know, there's the comedy of manners type romance, which I don't really write. So, so I guess that won't be too different. But, but they were written almost 20 years ago. This one was, and it was actually a Golden Heart finalist. Yeah. It was my only Golden Heart finalist was this book, and I've revised it. And it was funny today after I spoke, somebody came up to me and said, "I read all your Deborah Martins. I loved them all." She said, "I wondered what happened to you." I said, I know, I get that a lot. People come up and go, "You wrote as Deborah Martin. I used to read all your books."
So you had fans, and
I had fans. I had some fans,
and they're all here.
I had not nearly as many fans.
Yeah. Well, thanks for talking with us.
Well, thank you for having me.